Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're going to take a look at Leader Class Transformers Animated Bulkhead. And here is the big green machine itself in vehicle form. Rolls pretty well. I think the issue I'm having is maybe I didn't transform it quite right in order to get all the wheels to actually roll freely, but it doesn't concern me too much. I think there's, like I said, just probably the way that I transformed it. But it does roll. It does have features for play. For one thing, you have these 4 missiles here mounted on these missile racks, and all 4 of these missiles do remove. So they just slot into place. And they tend to, every now and then, come off during transformation into vehicle to robot or vice versa. So they can be kind of annoying. You can certainly take all 4 of them off and then put them back on when you're done transforming the figure. Other features, you do have, I guess, these guns here, and they actually move independently of one another. You can see there. You have the Autobot symbol here, which actually is a button, and when you press that button, of course you get lights and sounds. There are no working doors on this vehicle. You can pretend like this is the rear door and lift up this flap, but all you're really doing is exposing the robot parts and beginning the transformation into robot mode. Same thing on the side here. You have molded in detail of a door, but really that's not a door. But you could lift up the flap and kind of pretend that's a door, I suppose. So there is that. And let's move on to size comparisons here. If I can get this back in there like that. There we go. I don't have, unfortunately, I do not have any Transformers animated deluxe figures or any kind of Transformers animated figures in vehicle form. So Revenge of the Fallen Swerve Deluxe Class will have to do. And I think that's a pretty good size comparison there. I think that's pretty much into scale. Maybe not quite, but you can get an idea. I mean, this figure has been out for so long that most of you probably have one example or another of this to kind of gauge the size of this Leader Class vehicle mode. With that said, there really is not much more to do than to reveal robot mode. And first thing I like to do is just lift up this flap, and these two sections here are actually tabbed into one another. I'm going to kind of separate them, get them ready for transformation. Next thing you want to do, of course, with all Transformers is pretty much you want to take care of the feet and the legs. And you can see here how this is going. The actual feet are tabbed into place on the bottom of this section of plastic here. So we'll go ahead and untab those and rotate these out. And below where the pelvic area is here, if I lift up and pull back, there actually is a post that pops out. And the reason I point this out is because during the transformation back into vehicle form, you want to make sure that this is laying down like that and not sticking up like that, because it will prevent you from actually correctly transforming the legs. So anyways, you can see there actually is a port there, a post, and they just go together. And that basically secures the legs to the rest of the body. Take the feet and simply bring them down like that. So, next step, with this area free, you can go ahead and rotate in this section of the vehicle here that contains the 4 wheels. And then what you're going to want to do is you want to take this section here on both sides and lift up and just get that out of the way. Eventually this will go back down during the end of the transformation into robot mode. Next thing you're going to do, this little section here rotates down, and eventually there's a slider that it goes all the way up, and I'll show you that in a second here. So moving back to the arms, you can see these right here obviously are the arms. They're attached to these panels here on either side. And then this panel here is attached to the top right there. So you just want to basically pull them out like that and like that. And just a transformation tip when you're going back from robot into vehicle, you don't want to have the arms like this because you can't fit them in. There's no way you can make the connection. You want to angle them like that so that these tabs here, there's a tab right here and here, will tab up here. So you want to angle them in like that as opposed to trying to get them to, fit in that space there. It's not going to work. It's physically impossible. So just a little tip there. But basically, these are the arms, obviously. You want to bring these all the way over and rotate them out like that. Just get them out to the side for now and rotate them around. You're supposed to rotate the this missile rack here. Rotate this around so that in robot mode, the missiles are facing in the correct orientation. Whoops, one just fell off there. That's okay. Rotate this around. Then, as I was talking about earlier, this whole bottom part of the vehicle is on a slider. You can see the little slider track there. Slide it up like that, and that's all you need to do with that part. You want to separate there like that. Separate these out to the side like that for now, and go ahead and bring down these sections of what was the vehicle mode here. There we go. Next thing you want to do, this whole little top section of the vehicle, I think you'd call it maybe like the turret, where the actual, you know, if it was the actual vehicle where the person would get in, or whether the person would actually man the weapons. This actually unpegs like that, and you hear the transformation sound. And you want to separate this out like that, and rotate that out to the side. And I think what you're supposed to do with these, I guess you can't see that, sorry. The little weapons here, they're supposed to kind of sit up in here, and I guess support his I guess, shoulder armor there. So that's kind of how that's supposed to go. And the last step here is important because you can kind of see there is a slot there. There's also a slot on this side as well where this is going to tab into, but they don't line up, right? Well, what's going on? Well, you actually have to take the front section. You can see it's divided up there. Pull it forward like that, and then tab into the shoulders here, like that. And that is Bulkhead in robot mode. If I can get him to stand here. There we go, I think. So there you go. Let me pull back the camera here. Like that. And let me see if I can get his other missile on here. And there he is. So before I do or show you a size comparison with other Transformers, let's really go over the articulation and the play features. The head does rotate, and if you actually press the chest here, well, let's get this, let me show you this. Press the Autobot symbol there.
Time for the big guns! Do it, buddy! Sorry, my bad. Time for the big guns!
So you can see, you can get his head to rotate like that. And he has a articulated jaw here. And I thought that when you press the button, his jaw was supposed to go down like he's talking like that, you know.
Do it, buddy. Sorry, my bad.
But it doesn't really do that for some reason. Or maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly. But anyways, you got that articulation, I guess you call it. You got ratcheted shoulders here. You got swivel at the bicep, a bend at the elbow there, right there. And there's no waist articulation. The legs also ratchet. Legs can't really go out very far because you have this wheel here on either side of his hips. Forward, back, and bend at the knee, and a wiggle at the ankle. So that is articulation for leader class Bulkhead. So gimmicks. Well, you can see in his right hand here, take a look at it. There's a little lever here, you push this forward. So you have his buzzsaw there, I guess you call it. And you have another slider over here, which does that. Which is kind of cool. And of course you got the missiles here, but they don't really do anything. They just kind of sit there and look cool. And my favorite part of this particular figure is, dun da da da, wait for it. Yes, the Headmaster. And despite what my camera is showing, the color actually is purple. So what this does, and much like in the show, what this head does, once you put them on top of Bulkhead's head here, it actually changes the voice. And it's actually, you can see it's keyed so that it matches up with these slots that are around the front area here. So let's put this in here. And that's all he says with the head, master head on there. So that is really cool. I like that, the fact that it changes the toy just by putting that in there. So and that's a really cool feature, because if you know about the Generation 1 Headmasters and how they work, this is kind of a nice update to that. You know, it's electronic and light update to that, but it's really, really cool. I like that. And just let me show you the head, or the face sculpt here, in case I didn't show it to you close enough. You can see it has some translucent, I would say it's a dark blue color. So see if I can maybe show that off a little bit. Well, you can kind of see it there. It's really, really nicely detailed. Really, that's my favorite gimmick on this particular figure. So, size comparisons. Let's move on to that. So put Leader Class Bulkhead back there. Well, first let me bring out a just for fun comparison. I happen to have the Voyager Bulkhead figure, and you can see the size difference there. Then I have what is essentially the animated deluxe Jazz. So you can kind of get an idea what the difference is between a Leader Bulkhead and a Jazz figure, even though it's not painted like Jazz, I realize. Bring out RC here. And I'll bring out what is essentially the animated Rodimus. Right there, you can see. Whoops. Right there. And let me move the Voyager class Bulkhead aside here and bring out another Leader class figure, also from the same animated line. This is, of course, animated Leader class Megatron. Just to give you an idea of all the possible different, well, most of the possible different size comparisons there. Let me pull the camera back again here. And there you go, nice group shot there. So you get an idea of what the size of Bulkhead is compared to Megatron being another Leader class figure itself. And pretty cool. So yeah, this is a nice figure. It's easy to transform. That's the one thing I like about it, which is pretty much a characteristic of all of the Transformers animated line of Transformers. So much more simplistic. Well, I shouldn't use the word simplistic. I would say much more, well, maybe I will use the word simplistic, but, you know, much easier transformation. But that doesn't mean that it's not fun. I mean, in fact, I would argue that being simple to transform is actually not a bad thing. And, you know, take a look at Leader Class, movie Leader Class Optimus Prime. That thing is... For me, anyways, that thing is hard to transform, so it's nice to have a Leader Class figure of this size, just that's, you know, relatively easy to transform. Looks like he actually does have, in addition to a bend, he has a swivel at the knee. Sorry about that, or just above the knee. So, just to be complete with my review here. All right, thanks for watching. This has been my review of Transformers Leader Class Bulkhead. Thanks for watching.